Our previous president goes on The View, and by that I mean President Jill Biden and her husband Joe Biden came along too and tried to stay awake. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm here to work for you. How hard do I work? Look at this. I got some benign skin cancer removed from my nose, and I'm still here to work. Give us a subscribe. That's how you honor my hard work, is by subscribing and ringing that bell. And of course, if you see any kind of a change on your own skin, go to a dermatologist and check it out just to keep it from getting all deadly on us. That's my public service announcement. Let's watch the car wreck that is not so much my face, but the car wreck that was our last president.
Mr. President, since you left office, there have been a number of books that have come out, deeply sourced from Democratic sources, that claim in your final year there was a dramatic decline in your cognitive abilities in the final year of your presidency. What is your response to these allegations, or are these sources wrong?
They are wrong. There's nothing to sustain that. Number one. Number two, think of what we're left with. We're left with a circumstance where we had an insurrection when I started. Not since the Civil War. We had a circumstance where we were in a position that the pandemic, because of the incompetence of the last outfit, end up over 1 million people dying. We're also in a situation where we found ourselves unable to deal with a lot of just basic issues, and which I won't go into in the interest of time. And so we went to work, and we got it done. And one of the things that well, and
Alyssa,
he did not answer the question, by the way. The question was, Democrats on the inside came out against you, and he just simply says they're wrong. So he's saying they're lying. He doesn't give any reason for why they would say that he was in cognitive decline. But part of his cognitive decline is evidence here, and that he couldn't answer the question. And now let's just move on to the next Jill Biden, rescue him.
one of the things I think is that the people who wrote those books were not in the White House with us. And they didn't see how hard Joe worked every single day.
None of us saw Joe Biden working every single day. He spent a lot of time on the beach. He was known for putting a lid on his afternoon by 4 o'clock, sometimes by 2 o'clock to take a nap. He had a 4-hour workday at the most. Compare that to Trump, who is engaging the media, fighting with them every day. Open office. They come in, they freely talk to him. He talks to them on Air Force One. Biden didn't do that. We have more access to Trump, who's actually working. Just by comparison, this is already shown to be completely false.
I mean, he'd get up, he'd put in a full day, and then at night I'd be in bed, reading my book, and he was still on the phone reading his briefings.
Connected to an IV.
Nonstop. It's the White House. Being president is not like a job. It's a lifestyle. It's a life that you live. You live it 24 hours a day. That phone can ring at 11 o'clock at night or 2 in the morning. It's constant. You never leave it.
They take the camera off Joe because he looks down with his arms closed and looks like he just went into a coma.
And Joe worked really hard. I think he was a great president. And if you look at things today, give me Joe Biden anytime.
Yeah. Look at things today. There's Joe, barely conscious. He wasn't even running, ended up being, he was doing so well, they replaced him with Kamala Harris. If it's true, why didn't he run? So just they think we're idiots, like we don't see what's going on. The Democrat Party themselves replaced this guy because they didn't think he was capable of running. Why? Because of conversations like this.
The projects, the benefits. How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure? How do you lead the world without having the best healthcare in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best education system in the world? How do you lead the world when you don't have that done?
I don't know what language that is. I don't speak Bidenese. From Greg Kelly, Jill and Joe, quote, back from commercial break, unquote, are having serious regrets about going on The View. The stunt has backfired. Backfire? Another catastrophic, epic failure. Joe was totally lost. Jill, nasty and domineering, bad POTUS. Here's another clip of him saying he wasn't surprised by President Trump's win in 2024. And he says Kamala Harris was very qualified.
But then election night came and it was like 2016 all over again.
Yeah.
So why do you think the vice president lost, and were you surprised?
I wasn't surprised, not because I didn't think the vice president was the most qualified person to be president. She is. She's qualified to be president of the United States of America. But I was surprised. I wasn't surprised because they went the route of the sexist route, the whole route. I mean, this is a woman. She's this, she's that. I mean, it really, I've never seen quite as successful and a consistent campaign undercutting the notion that a woman couldn't lead the country, and a woman of mixed race.
Yeah.
And they played that to a fairly well. In addition to that,
Wait, that's why she lost, because Democrats went with DEI. They went with only emphasizing she's a female and she's Black. That's Joe Biden. That's not me. The Democrat Party did what the Democrat Party does. That's why she lost, because they emphasized all of her external qualities and never went for her merit. But we've also seen her merit. Joe, you ever seen that woman give a speech? She has no merit. That's how she got her job, is because she was a Black woman, and you wouldn't have picked her for vice president if she was a white woman, if she was a white male, competent white male. You wouldn't have picked him. This is a beautiful watching their Titanic sink, and then Joe Biden blames what they do for why she failed. That's not why she failed. She was totally incompetent. Besides all that,
one of the things happened, if you notice, and I'm going to be shorter, okay? I promise. She said, "Don't be Joe Biden." Be short.
I said that to him.
Anyway, make a long story short, all kidding aside, think about it. Liberal democracies all across America, all across the world lost last time.
Yeah.
All across America. I think we underestimate the phenomenal negative impact that COVID had and the pandemic had on people, on attitudes, on optimism, on a whole range of things. So,
but that's how you won last time, was because of COVID. So now he's saying it was the negative feelings of COVID. By the way, there was part of COVID was during the Trump administration. The negative views didn't stick with Trump.
I was very disappointed, and but I wasn't surprised. And the only thing that surprised me is the excess to which they've gone in some of the attacks they've made.
Yeah. Well, when was the last time you spoke with the vice president, and has she talked to you about what she wants to do next? Sought any advice? Maybe governor?
Yes.
She's trying to lead him even more. Did Kamala seek any advice? Long pause. Here, I'll help you out. What about with her running for governor in California?
Today, I talk to her frequently. We stay in touch, number one. Number two,
Joy. Thank you, Joy. That cough is very telling. Did you hear that? It's like bull crud. We talk to each other very frequently.
Number one. Number two, she's sought my opinion. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
What to wear to the Met Gala.
That's exactly right. No, but all kidding aside, she's got a difficult decision to make about what she's going to do.
Yeah.
I hope she stays fully engaged. I think she's first rate. But we have a lot of really good candidates as well. So I'm optimistic. I'm not pessimistic.
He's optimistic that the Democrat Party has a lot of great candidates. Said no Democrat for the last 3 months. They're going like, we're lost. We don't know who to run. I guess it's going to be Bernie and AOC. We're in the wilderness. And Joe Biden, we're doing great. Here's a post from Betty Johnson of the final from Lisa Farah Griffin.
Well, Mr. President, you had previously said that you thought that you would have won. Since then, Donald Trump won all the battleground states and made inroads with almost every major demographic, from working class voters to Hispanic men to Black men. Knowing what you know now, do you think you would have beat him?
Yeah, he still got 7 million fewer votes.
Yes.
He got 7 million fewer votes, which I'm still baffled. I think the whole world is baffled. Where did those 7 million people go that voted for Biden, thought he was so strong against Trump in 2020 during peak media love for Biden and peak hatred of Trump? 7 million people showed up for Joe Biden. that did not show up in this last election. That's a mystery. I'm not going to go to conspiracies on that. Everyone has their theory on it. Certainly, the COVID voting situation in 2020 meant he said 7 million people didn't show up. Well, they didn't show up for his vote either. They mailed in their votes. We had an unprecedented top number of mail-in ballots. So,
okay. A lot of people didn't show up. Number one. Number two, they're very close in those toss-up states. It was it wasn't a slam dunk, and look, every time I've been on the show, which I've been fortunate to be on more than once. Thanks for having me. Is that we talk? You guys don't focus on as much, and I think it's good on polling numbers. But let me put it this way: he's had the worst 100 days any president's ever had.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And I would not say honesty's been a strong point.
how about pardoning your son, Hunter Biden? I don't want to do a big whataboutism. I think it's clear that Joe Biden is largely considered the worst president, perhaps in all of American history, but certainly in the last 100 years. Joe Biden is the worst, hands down. Democrats agree. He did nothing. He was terrible. So, all of his numbers, fine. You got strong numbers on your polls in your first 100 days. And Trump has been completely dogpiled by the media, and he's actually still doing pretty well. And all of the polling against him oversample Democrats by at least 10 points. That is, they're polling from people who would not vote for Trump under any circumstances. Give us a subscribe. Glad you guys are watching. We'll keep going even as we watch The View and the Bidens embarrass themselves with a dead narrative because Trump won. I'm Doug in Exile.